Today, we're going to show you how to create thousands of AI tools by simply typing, or maybe you have a microphone like we have and you can speak into your microphone. And you do that with a chatbot, and the chatbot will create those apps for you. But we're going to show you everything. I'm here with my good friend, that side, Todd Gross here.
Hi,
Todd
Tim.
hey man, it's also to have you here again. I'm super excited about this one.
Yeah, this is called AI wrappers. And what's so exciting about it is you can create all kinds of AI apps, good ones, but not just for yourself. It's more for the idea of actually doing something with them, like selling them, or even better yet, to build your list by giving them away. Because as Neil Patel points out, there's nothing like giving away software in order to build a list. It's so much more effective than an ebook or anything like that. You could even use it to create bonuses, for other products that you may be selling. But whatever you use it for, as you'll see, these are pretty nifty apps that you can create and sell.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I already played a little bit with the app. I created a few, and it's super easy. And like you said, you can build your list because it's going to ask for an email address and a name, and then you can click on the app and it will do the stuff for you. So that's how you build your list. And like you said, you can sell these apps. Pretty cool. How about just diving into it, Todd? Instead of talking about it, just show what the app is, what it does, because that's what people are waiting for. And if you're watching
Okay.
right now, there will be early access coming Sunday on a webinar. We're going to talk about that more. So if you do not have the time to watch the end of this video, there's a link below where you can register. But we talk about that more at the end of this interview. But for now, Todd, let's dive into it. Let's show the app.
Let's do that. So, what makes this different than any others that you've seen is not only can you create them from scratch based on many different AI models that are integrated within, but you could also create from templates. So, it's completely foolproof. And you would actually modify it even though it's created from a template. So, let's do that. These two are very similar. It says create via chat and create from scratch. Those are virtually the same thing. But right in the middle where it says create from template, we'll click on that. And now it's giving us a list of already made, they're not made yet, but they're on the way to being made with just a click, templates that are already in there. Now, I'll show you some of the ones that are already involved. And then we'll just try one right off the bat. And then we'll
Cool.
create one from scratch after that. So, for instance, here we have a TikTok caption creator, we have a social media post creator, a YouTube thumbnail creator, all these great things that AI can do, but packaged as an actual product that you can resell. This one is interesting here, the kid-friendly article summarizer. That's going to allow you, as an example, to choose what age group you are targeting. So you can take an article, input the article, and then it will spit out an actual summary of the article based on the child's age that is going to read the article.
Nice.
Ad copy generator, web page analyzer. There's so many here, but let me actually show you the creation by scrolling down and we'll pick one.
That's a lot of apps.
Yeah, there's over 100 as a matter of fact, and there's ways to get many more too,
Wow.
because you guys are probably going to pick up the all-inclusive package, which really is going to include many, many more. But here, I'm just going to show you how to deploy one. So here's the calorie counter AI that's ready to be made. So we'll just click deploy on that, and it's immediately going to throw us into where we could start customizing. So on the left-hand side, you're going to see ways that you can customize it. So for instance, it's calling it calorie counter AI, but we could call it something else. We could call it food calorie displayer or something, right? We'll just change the name. And then the description, you could change that. It says estimate the number of calories in your meal by uploading a photo, get a detailed breakdown of carbs, proteins, and
Oh, that's
fats. We'll
cool.
leave that. Then the logo that we have in here is our own logo right now, but you could upload any logo. You could upload yours, right? So you don't have to depend on our logo. You can make this more branded to you. And if you get that all inclusive package, you could even take out where it says being produced by AI wrappers. You could take that out as well. So you can make this all your own. But for now, we'll leave this logo in there. And the reason we're going to leave it in is because I just don't have another one to upload right now. Now, you could then select the model, but it automatically does that on these templates. So, for instance, it selected GPT-4o, which you will integrate in with your API if you want. And it's, of course, that's a really inexpensive model, GPT-4o. So we do have Gemini built in there as well, which is basically free for so many
Okay.
credits.
Yeah.
That's good to know. You don't necessarily have to, pay any additional dollars if you
Hmm.
use the Gemini model. But this one uses GPT-4o, and that's a very inexpensive one. And then for the interface, this is going to take a look at, basically what folks are going to see. You could change the colors to, let's say, fit your business as an example. You can change the page title because we're making a page out of this. We're making a real product out of it. And it
Hmm.
even integrates your own payment Stripe, the payment service Stripe. It integrates that. So we could change the page title if we wanted. We could change the page description, where it says upload a meal photo to estimate calories and get nutritional breakdown. You could change the footer text if you wanted, where it says here, powered by AI Creator Studio. Remember, I said you can get rid of that if you have the all inclusive package. So let's just say powered by us or something like that. And then there's other things like the button text and things like that you could also, change if you wanted. But for now, for this demonstration, let's just go with what's already in there. And then you can change the access. Now, again, the all-inclusive package is going to allow you to actually capture protect this. So you can
Okay.
make sure that bots aren't accessing.
Hmm.
And you could turn that on if you want. You could access control to public, password protected, or paid. So in other words, let's say you're giving it as a free, product,
Hmm.
but you want it password protected, you could choose this one in the middle.
Hmm.
You could just do totally free to the public on the left. If you want to, for instance, just get a page up there to get some traffic, or you could actually charge by integrating your Stripe by
Okay.
doing a paid product on the right. And then URL and domain, very interesting. We do the hosting for you for a full year, or if you have the all-inclusive package, it's even longer. And guess what? Your subdomain is already picked here. We could change that subdomain if we want, but let's just leave it because it's putting it in calorie counter AI bowling. I don't know why it wrote bowling, but let's just do that. And now
Probably
we're
to
going to
make it different for every user, because if other users are using the same template, it needs to come up with something else. But you can change
yeah,
that,
it
right?
probably picked up that word, yeah, randomly.
Yeah.
You're right. That's pretty funny.
And
And
if
then
you
you
like
publish.
what I'm seeing here, you can also run this on a custom domain, right?
Yes, you can. You could do a custom domain as well. You
Nice.
don't have to necessarily use our hosting for it. Absolutely.
Cool.
And then you could copy that link. It produced a link. We're going to copy it. And now we're going to run over to another tab. Can you see my tab now that I
Yep, we
am?
can see everything.
Okay, and we're going to actually deploy this now. It's all ready. So here it is. We could have changed any of these things, but
Yeah.
we just left a lot the same. And this app is actually ready to try out. So let's actually try it out, Tim, okay? Because we just produced it, right? We just actually developed it right now in front
So
of your eyes.
you got a meal photo, Todd?
Yeah, I
You're
do. I have a meal photo just a few minutes ago. I took a picture of a banana and two pieces of
nice.
bread. So I'm going to do Todd Gross. And then I'm going to do my email. And the reason I'm doing that is, remember, it's collecting leads.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I'm going to upload the photo. So here's my banana and two pieces of bread. That's what you're looking at right here on the upper part of
Hmm.
this picture. And now what we've got is the banana and two pieces of bread right in there. I know it's a little small on your screen, but if you squint, you could see it's on a
We can see
plate.
it.
And now I'm going to click generate. So now it's going to think for a moment. It's going to take about a minute, because what it's doing is it's analyzing that meal. All right. This is actually a completely created app now that's going to analyze the
This
meal.
is very cool.
All right. Now here it
Oh
is. I'm going
wow.
to scroll to the top. All right, so it analyzed the bread as two slices of bread. That's correct. You saw the two slices of bread. And it says the calories are between 160 and 200, which is also correct. I know that. I
Hmm.
didn't know the carbohydrates of 30 to 40 grams, protein 6 to 8 grams, fat 2 to 4 grams. Then the banana, it correctly indicated it was a medium sized banana. It did that because it put it next to the bread. So it
Hmm.
was able to kind of judge that. And I didn't know this, that there's 100 calories in a banana, but it does. And there's the carbohydrates, the protein, the fat. And then it gives you a total estimate of that meal, which in this case is about 300 calories, and carbohydrates about 60 grams, and protein about 8 grams, and fat about 3 grams. So it really broke that down for us. So if I
Super
was
cool.
watching my calories, which I am, then there you have it. So that's an actual usable app, and you saw it in use. Not only did we produce the app, but we actually use the app as
Mm.
well. Now, Tim, let me
Nice.
show you another one, okay? Because I'm
Yeah.
excited about this next one. All right, so I'm going to go back to where we were before. I'm going to go back to my apps. On the left-hand side, you can see there's the dashboard, there's my apps, and I'm going to create it. I think I'm going to try to create it from scratch here, even though I believe we did this previously and then put it in as one of the templates, but let's try
Okay.
to create it from scratch. Okay, so in order to do that, you could just talk into it. You just click get started, and then you could
Hmm.
actually talk into it with the speaker, I mean, the microphone at the bottom here, or you could just type something.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to type create a virtual try on app. That would be, clothing. We're going to try clothing. And now it's going to generate a response and it's going to tell us what's going to be needed. So it says, great choice. A virtual try on app can be fun and interactive. Let's get started. Could you please provide more details of what you'd like the app to do? For example, are there specific types of clothing or accessories you want users to try on? Any particular style or theme? I'm going to write the subject be able to try on different clothing and make all the other choices for me as per your discretion. And now let's hit send and see what it says.
This is so easy, man. I love how simple it is that you can simply chat and then it's going to create the app for you, because it's going to show you in a few seconds, guys. It's going to show at the right side what this app will look like. And by the way,
Right,
Todd,
it'll show a preview, yeah.
what I also like is when you click that little sun at the right top. For people that like to have a dark theme, I already noticed that. When you click that, you can switch to dark. I love this.
Perfect. I'll set up a virtual try-on app where users can upload an image of themselves and try on different clothes items. Here's the configuration for your app. Would you like a logo for the app? If so, let me know any specific ideas or themes you have in mind. And then it shows what it actually generated. I'm going to
Mm.
put it back to light.
Yeah, sure.
I just got used to light a long time ago because I'm so old.
Yeah, but that's cool because everyone can have their own preference with this.
Yeah. So the only thing it's asking for is whether we want a logo. I'll say, no, please use a generic logo that you choose for me. And then on the right-hand side, it's of course giving us a little
Mhm.
idea of what it's going to look like. Virtual wardrobe try-on clothes virtually. Experience a new way to try on clothes with our virtual wardrobe app. Welcome to Virtual Wardrobe. It's going to ask for your image. It's going to ask for the clothing item,
Mm.
and then you're going to click try on. Now, this is just a preview here. This
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
the actual app
Mhm.
working. That's just approximately what it's going to look like. No, please use a generic logo for you to choose that you choose for me and create this app. So I'm going to send that and let's see what it does.
Takes a few seconds.
Yeah, it's thinking it's like a chat bot,
Yeah.
talking back and forth with it, and it's
And
looking at
programming in the back end
correct.
automatically.
But once it responds, then of course it's going to create the app and then we'll actually give it a whirl.
Hmm.
Now, while we're waiting for that to generate the response,
There it
there it
is.
is. Here's
Now
the
we all,
configuration for your virtual try-on app. Your app is ready to go. If you have any more requests or need further customization, feel free to app. It says it's generated, virtual try-on app created, two form fields configured, system prompt defined, view the app preview on the right-hand side. We did.
Yeah.
And
So,
now we're going to click create app.
yep. Nice. There you go.
Okay. Virtual try-on is live. Now, what we need to do is take this. Remember, it's hosting it, right?
Yeah.
So all we have to do is copy the link. And just like our calorie counter app from before, now I'm going to just post that link and go. And here it is.
There you
And
go.
our app is created. And again, the app can be light or dark, just as you pointed out.
Mm.
That's how the user will also be able to control that. And now it's asking us to upload an image. So watch this. Watch this. From our team, you remember meeting Audrey
Yeah.
at the conference? Okay, so I'm uploading an image of Audrey right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and she's wearing just a regular white t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to upload an actual peasant blouse. All right, and we're going to change what she's wearing. In fact, let me show you what she's wearing in this picture.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
what she's wearing. Actually, it's a striped t-shirt. You can
Mm-hmm.
see what she's wearing right there. Okay, but now I want to put this blouse on. I want her to wear this. Okay, and see how that looks on her.
Yeah.
Right? So we're going to go back to this, and now we're going to upload that blouse that I just showed you. That's right here in the bottom. And now we're going to write or click on where it says try on. Now remember, we could have changed the color
Mm-hmm.
of this button right here. We could have changed what it says. We could have said try it on exclamation point or something
Mm-hmm.
else. But we'll just click it. It says try on.
Show the
And
magic.
yeah, and this will take about a minute. So while this is doing doing that, I want to remind folks that the webinar where we're going to introduce this at the lowest possible price is Sunday evening, the 13th of July, 2025. That's just a few days from when, Tim, you and I are recording this. But when folks actually watch this video, it may be just before that. So get ready to come on in. We also have a second webinar on the 14th of July on Monday morning Eastern Time at 10 o'clock in the morning. So we have one at 8 p.m. and then one the next morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So just use New York time and then figure out how that compares to your time. All right, let's see how this came out. And there she is in
Oh
the
wow.
peasant blouse. And you can
Cool.
see it fits nicely and it shows what she'd look like in that. It just totally took off the other shirt she was wearing and it modeled this one to her body. And
Nice.
there we have it, Tim.
So the possibilities are limitless, right? If you think about this for apps like with these IDs, with photos, with calories, with things where you can use AI, it can create it for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of text that you can use as well, text type
Mm.
um, apps that you can make too. Before I get off this screen, before I get off the demo, let's just
Mm.
take a look at some of the pre-made ones or
Yeah.
pre-made templates. I keep
Hmm.
saying pre-made ones because they're
Yeah.
so easy.
Yeah.
They're actually not made yet. They're just ready for you to make.
Yeah.
And let's just go in there again. So create from template is what I'm referring to, of course. And we looked at many of these already, but let's look at a few more. Like here's a good one for you to sell, of course, to folks that want to help local businesses, and that's a website SEO analyzer.
Mm.
That's a really good one that's already ready for you to deploy. And then we have I'm looking down the left side just to make this
Hmm.
go a little quicker. Pinterest ad copy generator. That would be a good one so that you could create, ad copy easily for Pinterest. We have right here, proposal creator, generate polished and persuasive proposals tailored to impress clients
That's a
or
good one as well.
stakeholders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was saying some of them can be text based. Um, Here's an interesting one, an FAQ generator. That would be a good one to give away.
Mm.
Create clear and helpful FAQs for websites, products, services, or support. And it's showing which model it is basing it on,
Mm.
lower left. GPT-4o, as an example, is being used for that. Motivational quote generator. That's never been my thing. I've
Hmm.
always thought that those were kind of funny, but a lot of folks really like that on Facebook, as an example.
Yeah.
Here's a TikTok script generator. That would be a really good one to use. Um, and then we have, I'm just scrolling down, Kindle Book Creator. You could generate full length Kindle ready books based on your chosen topic. Now, that
Nice.
is based on Gemini 1.5
Mm.
Flash. Of course, as I said, Gemini has a lot of free credits so that
Mm.
you wouldn't really be paying anything to produce that. That looks like a really useful one for somebody who wants to create, ebooks, get them out there. That's really amazing to me. And we have so many here. SEO meta tag generator,
And I
YouTube
also noticed, Todd, I don't
SEO.
know if that's here at the top of, or when you create an app, that it's also able to create music apps.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
can create music apps.
that's
Yes,
cool as well.
yes, that's built right in.
So jingles, full music tracks, etc. You can do everything here. Voiceovers,
Yeah, here's a voiceover one in the middle as an example,
nice.
and it shows which AI it's leaning on
Mm.
here in the bottom left hand corner. And then remember, when you're creating these, you could customize them to your business,
Yeah,
to what
exactly.
you want them to look like. All right, I'll be lost in this all day showing this off to you. So why don't I get back on with you right here?
Yeah, there we go. So yeah,
Okay.
I love apps like these because it gives you a lot of possibilities. You can also, I mean, you can use them to sell, you can use them to build your lists, but you can also use them to create apps for yourself to make things very easy for yourself when you need some stuff. So yeah, like we said, coming Sunday at 8 p.m. there's a webinar. What are you going to show during the webinar, Todd? Probably a full demo and more
Yeah,
like
we're going
that.
to do an even longer demo, but
Yeah,
we're also going to explain the breakdown, which we don't have time to do
yeah,
right now, in terms of all the things you get with that package, because there's just so much. We
yeah.
have, for instance, I showed you a little bit, like the capture was in there. We have the unlimited workspaces. We have a lot of
I've
assets
also
that
read
we're
something like
using.
you're gonna give reseller rights, white
Yeah, I
label,
was
and
just about
stuff
to
like
get to
that.
that.
Yeah,
The most exciting one is the reseller rights
yeah,
that comes with the all-inclusive package. Somehow, some way, we're actually doing that. The reseller rights is for 50, so you can actually sell 50 of this package. So not only can you sell the apps, Tim, but you could actually sell the entire package itself, the actual
AI
software.
wrappers itself. Yeah,
Yeah, AI wrappers can be sold if you get that all-inclusive package. It's just
nice.
an amazing additional. And there is a way to make this go completely unlimited as well. And we're going to be talking about that on the webinar. We're going to be doing prizes. Reimbursements is what we usually do on the webinars. I don't know if you've ever attended, Tim, but what we do
I do.
is that's great. We have these sort of contests based on trivia questions from early on to see if people were paying attention or
Yeah,
people that are being particularly proactive.
I like
And
that.
then we then reimburse them a good chunk of money towards whatever they spent on the purchase
Exactly.
for this.
And
And we're
that's a
going to do
good thing. When you join this webinar, make sure you're asking questions, you're active, because then you have a good chance that you get that prize.
It's also good because when you're doing that, when you're paying attention and you're interacting, you're also going to be learning about the product and
Absolutely.
what it could do for you. And that, of course, is the main thing we're going to be doing is talk about how and where you can sell these. In what ways can you sell them? In what ways can you make money with them? To me, I know somebody that um, that was in the business that used to really do this kind of thing. And he created a huge list early on before anybody knew what was going on. His name was Han Fan.
Mm,
And
yeah,
what Han Fan did was he would produce pieces of software, little pieces of software that he would go to other vendors and say, here, give this out as a bonus when you launch your product, right? And they'd give it out, but remember, you collect leads every time somebody uses that product in this
exactly.
case, right? And that's what he did as well. And he created a huge responsive list that way. And he became very successful without launching any products of his own. And that's to me, one of the main ways to use this is to produce something that you can give away that's so valuable. But
Yeah.
of course, you could sell it as well. Warrior Plus is a place to sell items that are very
Mhm.
similar to this. And it's somewhere where you would have very little trouble getting it through as an item on that particular platform, where you could sell something like this at a very low cost.
Mm.
So you could actually sell it for, let's say, $7 or something like that. And because of the low price, you would actually have some success getting a large number of buyers,
Mm.
but you also would be creating a list from those buyers, and that's another way. But there's so
Mm.
many different ways
Yeah.
that you can make money from this.
If I
And
remember correctly, you can even give it away for free as well. You can bundle multiple apps and then just create a product on Warrior Plus that they can get for free, or you give them a coupon so that it's $0 and then they check out. You also got the email address through some kind of, or you do a $1 payment that you have a list that's willing to pay a little bit to get from you, so that's easier to sell other apps
yeah,
to them later on.
imagine if you did a dime sale, right?
Yeah,
A dime sale is where you start with a price that's so low that everybody wants to get in because they know the price is going up a penny
exactly.
every time or a nickel every time. And then you could actually stack it. So you could sell the product for very low cost, and then as soon as they purchase on the inside, you could say, well, since you purchased that, you may be interested in this next
Exactly.
one
Yeah.
as well for $5 more. And once they purchase that, then you can say, and you may be interested in this next one. And we have so many apps here for you to use that as long as you make sure they're kind of related to each other, there's so many, just,
Yeah.
it's floating in my head, all the ways that you can sell this.
Well, that's how it works, right? You need to think creative to make everything work for you, and I think you get a lot of possibilities with an app like this to be able to think creative.
Yeah, it's just so much better than trying to sell ebooks because people are kind of sick of them, and you have to read them. And a lot of people like me have developed ADHD, just because it's hard to read anymore with all the videos out there and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think it's just fantastic that this has come out, and it makes it so easy to create the apps, and they're so foolproof. As you saw, we were able to do it very quickly, and they were basically foolproof. And that's the difference between this and things that have come out prior,
Yeah.
is that we're wrapping all the AIs together, and we're making something that, if you use the templates, is completely foolproof, and you don't even have to use the templates. You could start from scratch. Then it may take a little trial and error to make sure that you're using the right AIs, or that the AIs that are involved can handle what you're asking.
Mm,
But the templates make it, a no-brainer.
absolutely. Yeah, and even the templates can be modified afterwards, right? When you use a template, you can still make
Yes,
modifications
yes, you
to a
can make
template.
modify what
Yeah.
the template does. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're going to close this interview. Todd, thank you so much for your time. And again, make sure to sign up. Maybe you're already on the page where you can sign up. If you see this video on YouTube, make sure to click the link below this video. Todd, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, just that it's a fun thing to do. More than anything else, it's profitable, but it's also fun and easy. And the interface, as you saw, is very easy to use. And there's training so that it
Hmm.
walks you step by step through not only using it, but especially, linking in to the various different AIs. If you need to, create a link with your API, whatever, it walks you through the whole process.
Awesome, awesome. Well, make sure you'll be there. Sunday, 8 p.m., Monday morning, second webinar, 10 a.m. in the morning. Right, Todd? 10 a.m., right?
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
So
Sunday
make
night,
sure you'll
Monday.
be there. And yeah, make sure if you see this video on YouTube, give it a big like, subscribe to my YouTube channel for future updates. And
Yes,
guys,
I'm subscribed. Everybody else should subscribe too.
absolutely. All right, guys, see you later and talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.